going to be in Matthew 5 forever. And I mean, it's going to take a long time, but you know what? The Lord wants us in Matthew 5. Okay? And I don't want to be in Matthew 5 for the next 4 weeks. I don't want to be in there. You hear me? I do not want to be in these next 4 weeks, because the next 4 weeks, God tells us how it is. And He's asking me to speak His Word. And so if I got to speak His Word, sometimes it's hard to do. I'm going to do it. And, we just got to realize our toes might get stepped on the next 4 weeks. But that's all right. That's the only way we grow. And so if I don't share His Word, then we're all in trouble. Amen? And so that's what's going to be going on the next 4 weeks. But this Sermon on the Mount, leading up to the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus got baptized and Jesus started doing some healings. And so people started following Him. Right? Bukus of people started following Him. And so they wanted to know more from Him because of the healing that He was doing. And the good things He was doing. And so even the Pharisees and Sadducees will follow Him, because He was teaching. And so they followed. And so Jesus started this Sermon on the Mount this way. Blessed are the poor in spirit. Blessed are those who mourn. Blessed are the meek. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst after righteousness. Blessed are the merciful. Blessed are the pure in heart. Blessed are the peacemakers. Blessed are those who are persecuted. You are salt of the earth. You are salt of the earth. And you are light of the world. So at that moment, he says all that. And so guess what the Pharisees and Sadducees are saying? All right. Because that's good, is it not? That's good. If you hear those things, anybody will say, yeah, that's good. Because what's blessed mean? You've been watching online. What's blessed mean? Delight. So if you hear blessed, it's a delight. Amen. And so you like to hear those things. So the Pharisees, Sadducees, all the people are like, oh, this is good. We can listen to this. We can follow this. This is hope. This is good stuff. We have nothing wrong with that. But then Jesus drops the bomb. He drops the bomb on Matthew 5, verse 17. Because up until this point, He's healing for God. He's doing things for God. But now He says something. He says something. It's only in here one little bit, but it's powerful. It's a bold statement of who He is. Matthew 5, 17 through 20. Do not think that I have come to abolish the law of prophets. I have not come to abolish them, but to fulfill them. I tell you the truth, until heaven and earth disappear, not the smallest letter, not the least stroke of a pen will by any means disappear from the law until everything is accomplished. Anyone who breaks one of the least of these commandments and teaches others to do the same will be called least in the kingdom of heaven. But whoever practices and teaches these commands will be called great in the kingdom of heaven. For I tell you that unless your righteousness surpasses that of the Pharisees and the teachers of the law, you will certainly not enter the kingdom of heaven. Woo! That's a bold. He just changed the whole tune of the Sermon on the Mount. Just changed it to blessed delight. Now He says, I've come to fulfill the law. Not the Pharisees, not the Sadducees, not the teachers, not the prophets, but I. That's a bold statement. I have come to fulfill the law. And He says, I've come to fulfill the law so much that this word will not change. I've come to fulfill it. I've not come to change the word, but I've come to fulfill it. Amen? And he calls out the Pharisees and the Sadducees and all them. And he says, you need to be righteous more than them. And what does he tell them? You got to have a relationship with me. Amen? Do you believe that? Amen. You got to have a relationship with me. What's fulfill mean? When I saw the definition of fulfill, I was like, oh, okay. I love definitions. You've probably seen recently. I love definitions. Fulfill. Bring to completion or reality. And to carry out. Isn't that what Jesus did? He brought completion. He made His word reality. Right? And He carried it out. He lived it. So did He fulfill the law? Absolutely. What is the law? Exodus 20, 1 through 17 is the law. And God spoke all His words, saying, I am the Lord your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, in the house of bondage. You shall have no other gods before me. You shall not make for yourself any carved image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in earth beneath, or that is in the water underneath the earth. You shall not bow down to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers on the children to the third, fourth generation of those who hate me, but showing mercy to the thousands, to those who love me and keep my commandments. You shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain, for the Lord will not uphold him guiltless who takes His name in vain. Remember the Sabbath, to keep it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work. You hear that? Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work. But the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord your God. In it you shall do no work. You, nor your son, nor your daughter, nor your manservant, nor your maidservant, nor your cattle, nor your stranger who is within your gates. For in 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth, the sea and all that is in them, and rested the 7th day. Therefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath and hallowed it. Honor your father and your mother, that your days may be long upon the land which the Lord your God is giving you. You shall not murder. You shall not commit adultery. You shall not steal. You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. You shall not covet your neighbor's house. You shall not covet your neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his ox, nor his donkey, nor anything that is your neighbor. Jesus came to fulfill the law. He came to fulfill these. There's many more laws in Leviticus, but this 10 here covers it all. And the law is hard to follow. Why is the law hard to follow? Where did the law come from? The law came from sin. When Adam and Eve screwed up, it brought the law. Because even if God never said the 10 Commandments, there would still, who would he would like for somebody to steal from you? You would still get mad if it did not say in the 10 Commandments, do not steal. If God was not even real, if nobody was here, you would not like it if somebody stole it. Right? So God is common sense. This is common sense stuff. Do not do these things. Amen. That shows that God is real, because we do wrong things. And so He's trying to make it right. And so He's like, do not do these things. If you do not do these things, guess what? You live a beatitude life. Amen. It comes back to the Beatitudes. You will have a blessed, delighted life, because your life will be opposite of doing wrong. Jesus came to fulfill the law. Did He do that? Did He really do that? Yes. Yes, yes. He did. How did He do it? And Jesus realized that He was unable to provide for Himself spiritually without His Father being first. Amen? God had a plan for him, and he had to accept that plan. Correct? He had to. God even gave him his son a choice. And it comes back to the first beatitude Jesus shared with the people. Matthew 5:3. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. You must deny yourself, take up your cross, and follow him. And that's what he did for his Father. He denied himself, and he says, I'm going to go to the cross for you. Because didn't he get honest with God in his prayers? Take this cup from me. But if not, if it's your will, I'll do it. Amen? That's kind of this sermon series for the next 4 weeks, Lord. Take this cup from me. Because I'm trying to go a different direction starting today. So I'm going, the Lord wouldn't let me do it. Because it's easy to talk about hope and joy and love and all that, isn't it? Instead of to talk about the law. Paul said this in Romans 3:31. Do we then nullify the law by this faith? Not at all. Rather, we uphold the law. Our faith upholds the law. Amen. And if Jesus came to fulfill the law, he shows us how to live the law out. And what it means is it's not coming, this. You got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do this. It's just about serving him. Amen. When you serve him, you are following the law and you don't even know it because you're doing the right things. Amen. If you are trying to be poor in the spirit, if you are mourning, if you're being meek, if you have a pure heart, guess what? The law's in you, amen? He's in you. And so it's coming out. He's coming out. Does our faith void the law in our lives? No. A lot of people do, don't they? A lot of people say, well, I can do wrong. I see it all the time at work. I'm faith now, so law doesn't mean anything to me. It's all right if I break the law because of my faith. It's all right if I sin because of my faith. A lot of people think that. A lot of people out here probably think that. I got saved 50 years ago, so if I sin once in a while, it's all right. Jesus says, blessed are pure in heart, for they will see God. Yet last week when it was dark in here, could you see anything? That's a symbol of sin. And so do you want sin in your life? No, you want to be in the light. So you continue to strive, right? Continue to grow. Yes, sometimes we're going to screw up. But usually when you screw up, you know about it if you're living with him. Amen? And you want to make it right. It might take you 10 years to make it right. But as long as you make it right, this thought cannot go through your head. It's okay. Because what's going to happen is it's going to start stacking up. And it's going to become a pile. Back here in the back. And then you're going to forget. Oh. And then you're going to realize, why am I at? Where am I at? God, why can't I hear you? Why can I not feel you? And it's because the Lord said, you got a pile back here you got to take care of. Amen. I come to fulfill the law. All right, Jay, I need your help. Put it up on top. That's good. I struggled. I said, Lord, how do I show the law? Romans 3:25 said, God presented him as a sacrifice of atonement through faith in his blood. Do not think I've come to abolish the law or the prophets. I've come not to abolish them, but to fulfill them. I tell you the truth, until heaven and earth disappear, not the smallest letter, not the least stroke of the pen will by any means disappear from the law, until everything is accomplished. The cross. The cross. I don't want you to see me right now. I want you to look at this cross. Jesus is the law. Okay? He is truly the law. Because he became that sacrifice. Amen? He made it to where now, if you follow him and if you serve him, the law is in you. Amen? He had to go to the cross to fulfill the law. Because they put him on, think about it, they put him on a cross for all the wrong reasons, right? They said he's a liar. He's a thief. He's been doing things to people. He's manipulating people. And if he was truly doing that, the cross would have proven it. Because he would have died and went to the grave and nothing else would have happened. Why? Because what did he say? He said, I'm the way, the truth, and the life. Well, if he stayed in that grave, if he would not have arose, guess what happened? It would have showed us all that he was a liar. Right? It would have showed us that he was not telling us the truth, that he'd come to fulfill the law. Amen. So he arose. He arose. And now the cross has become a symbol of life and liberty. Amen? People say, Christians say, it's hard to obey the law. Don't they? It's hard to obey the law. And Jesus knows we think that. So this is why he said this. He made it simple for you. He dummied it down. What's those books called? The Bible for Dummies. They should have a manual. That's what he did. He says, all right, this whole law, if you can't wrap your head around it, I'm going to dummy it down for you. Here's the Bible in a dummy version. And for me, West Virginia version. Here's what he said. Matthew 22, verse 37 through 40. Jesus replied, here it is. Here's how you follow the law of the land. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment. And the second is like it. Love your neighbor as yourself. All the law and the prophets hang on these two commandments. Amen. Follow them too. And you follow the law. Amen. He don't want you to be a stickler on the law. He wants you to follow the law. He wants you to follow him. Amen. I come across a great quote. It says, to see the law by Christ fulfilled, the cross fulfilled it, and hearing his pardoning voice. How many hears had forgiveness? Changes a slave into a child. I once was a slave to sin, but now no more. And duty, people that do not love the Lord feel like the law is duty. But God changes it into a choice. Amen. To see the law by Christ fulfilled and hearing his pardoning voice changes a slave into a child and a duty into choice. The message of Christ is simply, he brings truth, forgiveness, adoption, and freedom to follow. Amen. Freedom to follow. And so this is why, from this point out for the next 4 weeks, we're going to look at some of the laws. Because the law comes because of sin. And because we were born into sin, we think sin is good. And God had to save us from that, but we struggle, don't we? We struggle with some things. And so Jesus knows that, and so he taught on some of the laws. And so we're going to be looking at that, and he's going to break them down, and he's going to say, all right, here's how you handle it when you don't live a blessed life. Because he wants to get you back to the blessed life. Amen? So he's going to show you how to deal with these, how to work it out. Because he wants you to be a pure heart. Amen? He wants you to be meek. He wants you to be a peacemaker. He wants you to do all those things. If you're going to do all those things, you got to have a relationship with him. A lot of people don't have a relationship with God right now because they think he's all about the law. He's about a relationship. When that relationship becomes guidelines. I'm married to my wife. There's guidelines there, right? There's a law between us. You do not do this. You do not do that. Right? If that law was broken between us, something's got to fix it, right? We got to fix it. Something's got to help us. And sometimes some people choose to step away, right? Say, we're not going to fix it. So God teaches us and shows us how we handle it. I just want you to grasp this. The cross changed everything. He was bold then. I mean, that's what after he said, I come to fulfill the law, he lost the Pharisees and the Sadducees right then and there. Because he threw them under the bus and said, you got to become more righteous than him. More righteous than them. And here's where the Pharisees and Sadducees didn't have. They didn't have a relationship with God. They didn't care about God. They wanted to take the law and use it as power. And judge people. And Jesus said, look, you need to be more righteous than them by being an obedient follower of me. And out of you comes the law of love. Amen? All right. I didn't get this far ahead. I don't know how to close it out today. Come on up here, Martha. Let's close out by singing number 4. He is exalted. Because if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have freedom. Amen? I'm glad the cross is right here in front of me because I want you to realize it's not about me. It's not about any of you. It's about what he did. Amen? Because I'm going to fail you. I want to put it out there right now. I am going to fail you at some point. But he won't. And when I do fail you, he's going to tell me to tell you, I'm sorry. Amen? But he's also going to call me to encourage you, to lift you up, to support you. And he's going to do the same thing for you. That's how he wants to use us all. Because we all are called to be a salt and a light. Amen?